This, hey, Rachelle.
Hi, Ben. How are
Long,
you?
long time no see. Our
I
our first
know.
our first time meeting in 2025. So this is our third temp check. Third temp check of the year. It's February 13th. What is the total possible number we could have had? Seven? No, six. Six.
Six.
The total possible number is six, and we have had three. So
I mean, I'm gonna throw out the first 2 weeks because everyone's like just getting back into the year, getting your feet under you. Like,
yeah,
so four. We could have had four.
we
We're
could
at
have.
three. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, we're fine. We're fine. I don't know what people are talking about. I'm trying to like turn my thing on silent. Did it work? Oh, I destroyed my computer here.
Oh dear.
It's like I don't want to be on silent. Anyways,
I
there we go.
will not be silenced.
I will not be silenced. Hello, everyone. It is the Thursday temperature check. As you can tell, Rachelle is in the room. Rachelle is our chief baker's officer, the owner. Oh, sorry, no longer. I can't say you're the owner of RMR Consulting anymore. I
still
gotta say,
am. It is
yeah.
still a functional business.
And then, yeah, and then, sorry, the owner of, not the owner of RMR Consulting, but now the head of or director. What are you? What's your title? What's your
What are you? I don't know.
What are you, Michelle? You do something for Open Asset.
I do. I'm now the head of AEC Marketing Innovation at Open Asset. And don't feel bad because I also can't always remember my title. I'm basically an in-house subject matter expert, which is really, really cool.
After all this time of telling people how to treat SMEs, you are now
The SME. It's
now
amazing.
you're an SME, and it's so meta. You're an SME for proposal processes. Like that's yeah,
It's trippy.
it feels like Inception. Like yeah. Anyways, all right, good times. My name is Ben Klein. I am the Chief Recipes Officer at Proposal Industry Experts, the owner of BKGM and Consulting, or Geek Proposals, whatever I'm calling it nowadays.
Wait a second.
All right. So every time I went on a podcast so far this year, I have like prefaced it with like, you're not here because you're gallivanting all across our great world. And then, and maybe I tease out that like, hey, Rachelle is stuck in X airport because of weather condition or something like that. Why don't you just tell us what's happened to you in the last 4 weeks or so? And
I am, in fact, a weather gremlin. I'm adding that to my resume below tech gremlin. I have been on three trips in the last 2 weeks. It's exhausting. That was too much travel. One was for fun. Went to New York. Did a D&D live show to give you an insight into how nerdy I am. It was awesome. And then I was in Houston for the SMPS Southern Regional Conference, which was an amazing way to kick off the year and the regional conference season with SMPS.
yeah.
So that was 3 whirlwind days of connecting with hundreds of marketers and proposal professionals who are amazing and lovely, lovely people. Houston hospitality was great. Houston weather, not so great. That is a 2-hour direct flight from Albuquerque. It is one of the few direct flights from Albuquerque. And the cloud cover was so bad when we arrived at the airport that they made a circle. And then the captain came on and said, we're actually going to run out of fuel before we get to land, so we have to go to New Orleans.
Nolans. All right.
So we got diverted to New Orleans. And then we had to wait for a high school class, to get off of the plane. They were on a class trip to New York, and they rerouted them through NOLA, so we had to wait for them to figure that out. These poor high school students were like, what is happening? Why are we here? It was great. So yeah, my 2-hour flight turned into a 5.5-hour flight. It was awesome.
Wow. You literally can destroy the world, Rachelle. Your power is phenomenal.
I could just harness this. I could
Yeah.
take over the world. It would be amazing, and I would do so much good with it. So I'm working on it.
Would you like it?
I'm thinking some dark thunderclouds over some very specific parts of these would be real advantageous right now, but I'm not going to say where.
What?
I went to London.
What was that book? The Doctor Strange and Mr. Norrell? Like that whole thing about like UK magicians and the way they stopped the Spanish Armada by like summoning the weather and stuff like that. Sorry, I'm
Cool.
I'm going deep on nerd culture for that one.
You did go further than my nerd culture goes.
Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So you had a great trip, ish, except for the flight. Um, you presented obviously at SMPS.
Yeah, I did a keynote. That was
Yeah.
really cool. Keynote with Jeff Visnick from Reclamation Collaborative. So we talked about like how to bridge the gap between proposal staff and technical staff, how to talk to each other.
Yeah.
Really lovely. And then we did a live episode of Burnout Banter, which will be published sometime in the next week or so.
Okay.
But also went really, really well.
Oh, perfect. Well done, you. Any
Great.
insights from that? Anything that people were coming to talk to you about at SMPS?
There were a lot of conversations. I mean, obviously around burnout because that's what Jeff and I talk about. But there were some questions around like creative burnout and like creative boundaries, which I found really interesting. It wasn't just like I'm fed up with work. What do I do? It was I want to be creative, but I don't have the time or space. Or I want to be creative, but I feel constrained because I also need to be productive. And so
Mhm.
much of creativity is like going down dead ends and exploring and giving yourself permission to fail or try something that might not work out. And how do you do that when you have a very structured day that like requires that you produce?
Yeah.
So those are really interesting and thought-provoking questions, and I was actually kind of excited to
Okay.
address this. Yeah.
Super interesting. All right. That's kind of cool. Did you have suggestions for them, or were they coming to you for advice, or just coming to you to like tell you their problems? Sorry, that sounded horrible. Like, is everyone just dumping on Rochelle, or did they come with solutions? Like, that's a very managerial style like approach to the issue.
You're allowed to
Yeah.
just lay it on me. I won't always have answers, but you are allowed to throw it at me. But no, like those were questions for Burn Up Enter Live, so we did answer a couple of them, and they'll be in the episode. But someone specifically told me this resonated with them, so I'm gonna put it here too. But I struggle with this too, where I feel pressured to create well, and I think it's tied to productivity. It's also tied to like my space. So like I have all these really nice fancy notebooks that I buy and I'm like, I'm gonna do great things in here. And then I feel really pressured to do like really amazing things within this notebook. So I went and bought like dollar store notebooks.
Yeah.
So I be messy creative within those, and that completely changed my mindset. And someone came up to me and was like, I didn't realize that that was the block, but 100%. It's that like I've inadvertently put this pressure on myself to create well within this like perfect space. I'm like, no, we
Yeah.
need to create a space to give ourselves permission to be messy. And for me, that just manifests in a notebook. But like wherever you're creative, like you need a messy creative space. So
That's
that was
fantastic. I love that. And so good, honestly, so good. There's a website I used to use, and I think it was called like 750 words a day or something like that. You pay $5 US, and like it is really just like get out my 3 pages of whatever's in my head, and that like stops that creative block of like forcing myself to like create something good. I can just create whatever, and for some reason it didn't work as well for me. I wanted like more. And so for my creative practice, like my like exercising my creative muscle just to like do something, I create flash fiction based on an image. So I'll pick an image from my phone library, or I'll deliberately like take an image, and then I will like try to create flash fiction around it. And flash fiction is typically like under 500 words if you're good under 250 words. And some of it has been like huge bombs. And I appreciate them just as much as I do the ones that I think are relatively clever.
It's amazing. But the fact that you're doing that is amazing.
Yeah. And
That's
I try to set myself the goal of like doing it twice a week, just for the purposes of like, hey, I've got to exercise this muscle anyways. I've got to think in new ways anyways. So I should do it. And it has like I have to put it into my like tasks, because if I don't, you're right, like productivity like overrides it, and I'm just like, oh, this is useless work, when in fact it is the equivalent of like me exercising.
Yes, you have to exercise your brain too. Like, creativity isn't something you're just like, I'm going to be creative today. The more, the more you do creative things, the more creative you become.
Yeah.
It's 100% muscle. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need permission. That's really what I got out of SMPS. Was people needed permission to go be creative and put up boundaries. And this is us giving you permission to do that.
This is us sitting from our ivory tower here. Like,
you don't need my permission, but if you need my permission, go forth and create, because it's good for you.
I'll put it in the show notes. There is a podcast that Slate puts out, and I think it's actually over. I think like due to budget cuts and everything like that, it's gone now. But they have years and years of archive material if you are a Slate Plus member, and I think it's super cheap if you want to just go in and quickly like grab all the episodes or something like that. But it's called Working, and it is two creatives interviewing another creative every single week about their process and like why they do things. And like, sure, it's like choreographers and it'll be, but like there are authors and graphic artists and t-shirt designers and clothing designers and all sorts of stuff. And it's just, they are fascinating in like how they all, regardless of the type of design you do or the type of creative you do, you all encounter roughly similar issues around like, I've just got to make time in my day to get this done. Right. And many of them are doing their design work on the side of like regular productive work. And it's a challenge.
Frustrating.
Yeah. Sorry. I apologize for all of you that you have to be creative on top of like, I just have to get stuff done.
We have to be human. We have to be productive. We want to be creative. There's just so much.
Yeah. Okay. Did you? All right.
Like that tone. Okay, Rachelle. Okay. Yeah. It's so hard.
It's fair. I would love to like spend the next 15 minutes like just like querying you about what happened at a live D&D event. Like I'm pretty
sure that episode was recorded. It's somewhere on the internet.
Yeah. I have so far resisted going down the deep like web or morass that is like the Twitch streams for like Critical Role and all those other companies that have made millions on like live D&D casting or live role playing. Not LARPing, which is an entirely different thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't confuse them.
Don't.
Yeah, trying to like. That was a fun moment while we were sitting there with my friend. I was like, they sold out Madison Square Gardens. Like, how much are they getting paid for this? Just like they're literally playing a game in front of us, and they're getting paid like millions of dollars. This is amazing. Good for them.
Yeah, 100%. Like Critical Role was the most successful Twitch channel. Like, so just imagine, like, of all the like video games and everything out there, like it is the most successful Twitch kid channel when the data leak went out, and I can't imagine that that's changed since then. I know that the shine is coming off it. Their Critical Role has been like plagued by a couple scandals and stuff like that, but you just know that they were successful because almost every other like niche nerdy video game stream in YouTube or on Instagram and stuff like that also added a D&D component or a role-playing component, which seems to indicate that there's an audience there that's interested. As a matter of fact, I have a good friend, and he still has me on a chat. What is it called? Feats of Fiction. He runs a podcast for his video game or not his video game, but his D&D game and stuff like that. And even that, I understand, has a couple users or like a couple people viewing it and stuff like that. So there's a hunger out there for this creative storytelling that is like group generated.
That's all it is. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't really know a whole lot about like the whole D&D thing. And I like fantasy and fiction and nerdism, but I love that it's just stories. It's so fun. You're just literally watching someone tell a story live, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's just something really special about it.
I feel like maybe that's one of the guests that I should try to find. I should try to find someone deep in the proposal universe who is also like a D&D player. Like I know that we always go to Roxanne Marquez, who turned her like her proposal resumes into like our character sheets from D&D,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But I bet you there is someone who has like logically thought out like, hey, when I'm creating a story in D&D, it gives me an idea of like messaging, the hero's journey, conflict, right? And like all these things that we want to try to like condense and create into our proposals to make them disruptive. I think, all right, I will try to, I'm going to put it as a question out into our LinkedIn community and see if there's someone out there who wants to talk to me about it. Cause I'd be curious. I'd be curious.
I can think of a couple of like super nerdy storyteller proposal professionals. There's a high overlap here.
Yeah. There was that woman that we had in ARF Win 2023 who very specifically like was quoting the hero's journey inside of her discussion. Like she's like, hey, you've got to like your executive summary shouldn't lead with you. It should lead with the customer. Here is the customer as we understand them today, and make sure that they feel seen. Like whatever you can do, whatever intelligence you could do in like those 5 sentences to make them feel like you know who they are. Like that's it. And then from there, like introduce them to what they want to do, right? Like what summit they're trying to approach, what difficulty they're trying to get them over, and then jump in with the guide. Now you finally, like in this part of the executive summary, you get to introduce yourself finally, and and then the transformation, lead them to like the promised land of whatever like mission that they're going to accomplish, right? And she was so deep into it, and I was like, oh my god, that is the exact same way that I design campaigns in D&D. So.
So good. So applicable to what we do.
So applicable to. Anyways, we're in an aside. All right. So then after that, you went to London. You did some open asset stuff for fun and excitement.
Fun and excitement. I met the team. They have a US and a UK team, so I got to hang out with the UK team, which was really fun. Yeah. That was really, that's all I can really say at the moment, is I did cool things.
we are covered by NDA. There were pictures of Rachelle in London that currently under review by MI5 before they like
me like frantically trying to explore the city in like 2 hours every day because I didn't build in any extra like exploration time.
I am so upset that you didn't go to Fordham and Mason after I told you to go to Fordham and Mason.
Time. I would wake up at like 6:30 and then I had from 7 to 9 to explore.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Well, listen, while you were gone, we didn't let pie like fall off the charts. We started the slow process of like waking it up, and we led with Christina Carter. Did an absolutely fantastic presentation about her upcoming leadership series, which is really is next week. So get on it. If you haven't registered for her event, she talks a lot about, or she is going to talk a lot about why it's important that you're at the leadership table. This is a very common reprieve that we hear from a lot of people, but where Christina is going to make it human, or Chris is going to make it human, is in actually giving you some tips on things that you can do to like make it happen inside your organization, right? Like how to start that process of getting yourself at the board. And as we all know, like while the fear of the AI boogeyman has a little bit abated, there is definitely a need for you to upskill into your role and into your career and think about like, where is the value that I'm actually providing? I'm going through a process right now with my client where they're like, hey, how much of like the proposal process can be offloaded to like really low level assets? And so it is really forced us to think about like, what is the actual value that we provide inside the proposal process. And it's been fun. It's been a fun exercise. All right. So what else do we do? Oh yeah, we met with Jeremy Brand. We announced the upcoming Growth Logic partnership.
Growth Ignition.
Yeah, Growth Ignition.
You're partnering with Growth Ignition. Growth Logic is a different company.
That's my old company. Like, that's the problem. It's my old social media marketing company that I had back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
And so every time I see growth, I automatically add like logic to it. I am sad that company didn't fly. But
now it does.
Yeah, exactly.
So
the secret is getting a better business partner, and you're the better business partner. So
yay!
All right, so Growth Ignition. Yeah, so Jeremy talked through it, and you know what I really loved about Jeremy's piece, and I hope everyone caught it, is that Jeremy's doing fine financially, right? Like, this is not a money grab. Now, having said that, he doesn't provide his services cheaply. You'll see that when the pricing comes out. There is high value here, but also an investment that you have to make in that. We are going to be doing some discounts for Pi members and everything like that. But like, ultimately, his goal here is just that, like, there is a massive group of individuals in the public procurement space who do not have the education they need to make this process efficient. And when that inefficiency like creeps up in the government, you know, people say things like corruption and, you know, cronyism and all those other things. And it's really important that we start getting this right. Or not that we're doing a bad job necessarily, but like, there are more people who could be doing a better job, kind of thing. We can all improve.
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can. So we did that. And then Rachelle, from behind the scenes, while flying over multiple continents, managed to like work with Lawrence Danitsky and release RFP 101 for us. And this is something that we've had on the books for like more than a year. At least.
So long. Yeah. But it's done. Lauren did an incredible job with RFP 101.
Yeah. And it's out there. So there is a question in the audience, so I just want to address this quickly. Do we see proposal writers being replaced by AI in the near future? Replaced. Replaced is a hard term. I don't see that. I see a lot of companies like SAP laid off almost their entire Asian like proposal group. I saw that there were a lot of layoffs in the UK, but then we saw a lot of hiring in the United States. We saw a lot of hiring that has now sprung up again in the UK. We see more hiring again occurring in Southeast Asia. So I think replaced is not the right word. What I do see, and I can show this with stats inside my own company, is that the volume of work that you can take on when you embed AI processes is quite a bit larger, which means that maybe there's a possibility that like either there will be less proposal writers that are necessarily needed, or that like proposal writers will be needed at a higher level in the process. So we talk often about capture, getting involved in the bid strategy before the RFP is released, so that you can get messaging right and stuff like that. Thinking through like all the way like contract lifestyle. I know that AP&P was looking at the idea of like, hey, how do we get to contract compliance as something that proposal writers and bid writers can do. So there, I don't see like a pure replacement. If you write something right now on ChatGPT or DeepSeek or Gemini, or any even Llama, you will find that like the language is effusive, it is buzzwordy, it is everything that we don't want to see in good quality writing, but it's improving all the time, and you can prompt it down to something that's reasonable, and that's kind of an expertise in its own. We, you know, to pump our own course, the Appy, that's kind of the idea of like, hey, you can't just accept the first thing that comes out. You got to like prompt down to something wonderful. So yeah, I don't see it. I don't see it necessarily replacing, but I do see that it'll make an impact on hiring in the near future. Like if you don't have at least some understanding of like AI skills and stuff like that, you're probably going to be hurting in 3 or 4 years if you don't if you don't have other skills that you are bringing to the proposal process. I can see that. But having said that, I did get off the phone with my UK counterpart just this morning, and they attempted to do away with their proposal writers. So they got rid of them, and they tried to have their bids written by a solution architect all last year in 2024, and they lost every single bid.
Oh, I'm shocked.
Yeah. So, and you know, we like, obviously there's probably a lot more going on there. Like, we can't just say, oh, like every document sucked and therefore they didn't get selected. But yeah, like there's something there's something there that,
I mean, those are insights that maybe those proposal team members could have brought to the surface, but you know.
yeah, exactly. Like, it could have just been like a proposal writer, like in the bid process, saying, hey, it doesn't look like we have a solution fit here, or I'm having to like make up a lot of stuff, like we don't have this built. But anyways, so yeah, companies are discovering, companies are always going to experiment. They're always going to try to like go down to an automated source rather than you. All right, so good question. But come join the community. There's lots of discussion around AI and how to use AI processes and stuff like that. Anyways, before we left that though, we were talking about RFP 101, and I wanted to, like, there are people that have already gone through it. Is that right? Or are starting the process of going through it?
Yeah, we've got like 60 people signed up for it, and it's only been out for like a week. So thank you all for jumping in. It is very much a 101 course. So for a lot of you, it's going to be rehash things you already know. It's really good for like new team members who have just like crash landed into proposal land and don't know anything about it. It's great for small businesses who are trying to manage proposals on their own because they don't have in-house proposal people. So spread the word to them. You will also notice that it is on a new learning platform. So it's to something that we're going to announce next month. But you might want to poke around in the new Disco platform community where that course is hosted and see what's up and start getting familiar with it.
Yeah.
Do we want to tell the why then? I don't remember what the consensus was on telling people.
I love that. I love that hint. Yes. So the long and short of it is we are trying to migrate our education platform, and in the process, we discovered that this platform has a number of community functions. We are going to be looking at that as a long-term migration strategy for us, because one of the things that we've always wanted is like an app on your phone that will give you notifications and something that's easy for you to look up and get involved with and everything like that. So that is all insider information, Kathleen.
Yeah, you just
so the disco. So anyways, in the background, we have been working on the necessary automations and connections and stuff like that. Unfortunately, we can't just migrate your membership over from one to the other, so it does require a secondary sign up. Please use the same sign up if you have a paid membership as your existing membership. I will fix it in the background. It's not that we have that many members that I can't resolve it, but please.
But Ben is one person, and we don't want to stress him out. So we're going to follow his exact instructions when they come out, is what I'm hearing here.
I will give you point-by-point instructions on how to sign up in the Disco platform. But yeah, give it a shot. If you are, for RFP 101 specifically, this is a great opportunity. Again, if you have a new team member and stuff like that, or if you were just trying to like maybe give a prominent SME who helps you a lot on bids, like an understanding of like the process and everything like that, this is a great chance. And also it gets them into the community so that they can get support in other ways as they need it. All right, so bigger announcement on Disco will be coming out next month, but for right now, RFP 101 is our little breadcrumbs towards a future community change that we're developing for you. All right. Rachelle, it is 11:29. I'd like to be or 11:29. It's 11:29 my time, Pacific Coast. 12 and 2 and 3 and very late in the evening for someone else.
We're almost at time, is what I'm hearing.
We are almost at time. Do you have any closing thoughts before we let you go?
I'm just gonna tag on to the question that we got in AI and use it to like wrap all of this together with kind of the things that I was hearing at like the SMPS conference is that there's just like a lot of uncertainty in general around a lot of things, procurement, AI, the world. But Pi, we're here, we're community based, so please come ask your questions. Please connect with your community members. We're here to support you, whatever your questions are. If you're upskilling, if you have, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, we got you. Just come to us.
And that's not to say that Rachelle and I are the brain trust that will answer you, but we have a community of over 1,600 people who can like group think you through your issues. So
Very, very supportive community members who are much smarter than I. Maybe not Ben. I don't know, but
no, 100% way smarter than the two of us combined. Not even a question. Like it is like saying snow is white when it falls. Like it is a truism. Anyways, our community is powerful and they are wonderful. So come on and join us and get a better look at it. All right. Anything else we need to cover? No.
I may have overpromised, Kathleen, but we will figure it out together.
Kathleen, yeah, go just post that in the community. Make a post. Be like, can someone help me get my life together? And then and we'll see what kind of answers you get. I'll be very curious. Anyways, all right, y'all take care. Have a great Thursday. Hopefully your bids are safe and wonderful going into the weekend and you don't have to do a lot of work. And we will see you next week. Thanks so much, all. Take care.